All right, well, hey there, folks. Meteorologist Matt Barrentine getting things set up here in the Fox 10 Gulfstream Center. It's a little bit after 8 here this evening, and obviously we are tracking storms, a line of strong to severe storms headed our way, and it's been very, very active across central Mississippi. In fact, it is currently right now very active, multiple tornado warnings here. Now, this is what we expected, though. The most sort of ingredients for severe weather, for tornadic weather, was going to be across central Mississippi and not as much across our area. That said, we still could have some issues later tonight. And it looks like for us it's going to be an overnight event, which carries its own issues, obviously, because people are asleep. So you really need a way to get warnings. So a great way to do that is to pick up our app, our Fox 10 weather app, get the warnings there. Also, you know, if you're watching us live on TV, because there's some severe weather going through and your power goes out, go to your phone, go to the app, watch live, boom, it pulls it right back up and you don't miss a beat. Once again, it's pretty active here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom on in here, show you what we have across Mississippi. This is north of Hattiesburg. Yeah, all these red boxes, those are tornado warnings, and it is very, very rough through parts of central Mississippi up there right now around Raleigh and McGee, also up around New Hebron and Monticello and Brookhaven. They've dealt with multiple likely tornadoes in and around Brookhaven here this evening. And also, I think there's one more. Yeah, one more back here. Actually, two more. Back here in near Marksville, Louisiana, going across the Mississippi River there down into the, I don't even know if there's a town there. Not even a town there, because that's right along the Mississippi River. So Highway 61 over there in the very southwestern corner of Mississippi there near Centerville. All right, so obviously some really rough weather over that way. How about us? So far for us, we haven't seen, when we weren't anticipating it coming in this early at 8 o'clock. We still actually have a few more hours to wait. There are some showers popping up out ahead of it. We're going to watch these, but right now there's not really a good atmosphere for these to become severe. Now, we may get some thunder and lightning eventually as these might try to grow a little bit, but I don't think this batch right here that we're just starting to see pop up in our area, don't think that has really any chance of going severe. Really what we're going to be waiting on is this stuff over here kind of near Baton Rouge or north of Baton Rouge. So we got to still wait for all of that to slide on over. I mean, that's going to be a number of hours. Now, the northern part of our viewing area, say up around Greene County, Washington County, Clark County, you know, they're going to be waiting on these storms right here. Some of these have been the nasty ones producing tornadoes. Now, as they get over towards our area, they're going to lose some of their punch. They're not going to have as much of an atmosphere to work with. That said, they could, you know, there's still a chance, and we are still going to be watching out for a possibility of isolated tornadoes across our area. Let me show you the details, get you the threat summary here of what we're anticipating and what we're looking at here at the moment. So eastern 1/3 of our area is level 1 marginal risk, but the western 2/3 of our area is still in a slight risk here. Overnight tonight through Tuesday morning, damaging winds and a few tornadoes possible. So when does it start? Well, I'll put up the rain chances and it'll kind of help you out here. You can see how they ramp up right after midnight. And you can see 3, 4, 5 in the morning, 100%. So this is going to be go time right during the wee hours of the morning. All right, so I'm going to get up the model. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here so you can see better. If you're catching us on Facebook, once again, please download our app. We run all this stuff on our app. And like I said, you can get all the warnings and you can stay up to date with everything right there on our Fox 10 weather app. All right, so here's the futurecast at 11. See, 11 o'clock, it's still showing things pretty quiet across the area, even midnight. So one of the things I've noticed with the last couple of model runs, it continues to slow it down. So when I first came in this afternoon, earlier this afternoon, just after lunchtime, this is how the model looked for about 11 o'clock in the evening. Now it's pushed it back by about 3 hours. So this is our high resolution model, and this thing runs every hour. It refreshes itself every hour, and it uses a lot of different things. And one of the things it does that other models really can't do is it uses current radar trends. So that's one of the differences with the high resolution, this HRRR model. It can use current radar trends to really help it to pinpoint the timing, and it can really help it out with the timing. So it's been slowing it down because the actual line has been kind of bit back off. Instead of, it's not north-south. It has an orientation that's almost due east-west. That means that tail end of it will take a long time to get through our area. I mean, it's still west of Baton Rouge at this point. Baton Rouge is a 3-hour drive. It's probably 4 or 5 hours to the front end of that line on I-10. And that's, driving at 70 miles, 75 miles per hour. This thing ain't moving that fast, so it's just going to take hours to get here. So it's going to be overnight. So here we are at 8, so we're talking 6 hours till the front end of this thing gets here, and probably 7 or so hours, 3 a.m., until we really start getting into it. So it's going to take a while for this to happen, and it's likely to happen once again right in the middle of the night. And this is the kind of, this is a wake-up weather where you're going to be like, fall fast asleep, and then your house just starts shaking, with the thunder and lightning flashing out there. So it's going to be a rough middle of the night here. You can see very, very active weather right through 5 a.m. here in the morning. Look at that. That is going to be some rough stuff. And then you're waking up, maybe trying to get ready for work. If I know a lot of folks have some time off this week, but if you're still, a lot of people still have to go to work, and here we are at 6 a.m., it's likely to be pretty rough at that point too, but beginning to move east. Here we are by 7 in the morning, and now things are kind of working their way over into the Panhandle. Things are better over in Mobile County and looking better across west of 65. Now, there will still be some scattered showers late in the morning. These won't be severe. Our severe window is going to be probably from about midnight to about 6 or 7 in the morning. Then after that, anything else, the severe parameters will move off to our east, and we'll be looking at just a few scattered showers there around lunchtime tomorrow. So I'll back this thing up one more time. Let's see where we are at it. At about 7 in the morning there, and trying to get a feel for about when. Let's stop it at around 9. Just some scattered. So at this point, I would think that we're looking at scattered showers at this point, not looking at anything severe. So the severe parameters at this point are going to be over in Panama City towards Tallahassee, not going to be so much into our area. But there will be still, looks like, some scattered showers around through at least lunchtime and maybe a little bit thereafter. Here are the winds. These are these aren't the wind gusts now are around 20, but the steady winds are about 14 to 12 miles per hour coming in out of the south, bringing in warm, humid air here for us across the area. Been keeping an eye on these. We're at a 5%, most of our areas in a 5% risk zone for tornadoes. And I know people look at that and say, 5%, it's not a big number. I get that. But I mean, it's really only a handful of days a year where we have any risk of getting a tornado. And when you're talking about something that as significant as a tornado, I mean, if I told you you had a 5% risk of getting in a nasty wreck today, you probably wouldn't get in your car. You might say, well, I'll just wait until tomorrow when there's no risk. So, when you're talking about something significant, it is a significant risk, and that's why we'll be up tonight keeping an eye on this for you. The severe wind risk is around 15% here for us this evening. Here are the current alerts, and we are not, in our area, we are not in a watch yet. That will eventually change. We'll see this move over. You can see all these red boxes here. Those are the tornado warnings. The dark crimson red right here, and there's one back here as well. Those are flash flood warnings. So I hate how they're almost the same color. It makes it really hard to tell apart sometimes. There's a bright red. They shouldn't have one that's similar in color to the tornado warnings. Tornado warning is the most important thing. They should have had it another color, like a purple or something, I guess. Anything else but crimson red. That's just my rant. Here's the satellite radar. Kind of the wide picture here is like the setup. And boy, you can see the winds just getting drawn into the system. You know, that feeds the moisture into the system, feeds the humidity into the system, basically the fuel. And kind of where all this funnels together, that's exactly where we've been seeing the worst weather, right up in there near Jackson, Mississippi, where all this is kind of funneling up to. And that's, you know, once again, where the nastiest weather has been. The back end of all this, like I said, it's just now approaching Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge is right over here. Actually, it's right here. So it's still not even quite to Baton Rouge yet. So that's, like I said, it's a good ways down the interstate. That's the back end of all this, back end of the line. That'll eventually work into our area. I have to watch to see if any of these kind of clip the northern part of our area within about 3 or 4 hours here. All right, sorry, I get pop-ups on this computer, which drives me nuts. All right, so the radar, closer in. Once again, none of this is severe. In fact, this also has the lightning on here. You can see the lightning with these ones up near Hattiesburg. But down in our area, there's no lightning with these yet. What that means is they're not convective. There's not a lot of rising air. You need rising air for convection, for thunder, for lightning. And if you don't have that, you don't have any chance of severe weather. So we don't have those kind of conditions yet. Now, these eventually could start to fire up into thunderstorms, but they won't have the punch these other ones that are back to the west will have yet. This is going to be, once again, more of a late night event. But we're starting to get some decent rain now. This is some nice, I mean, we need this, obviously. We need rain, so this is good stuff. And it's nice to see this. You can see plenty of rain across the area. These are fast-moving showers, too. They're moving along at a pretty good clip because that's only a 1-hour loop. Velocity, nothing to show there, thankfully, in our area. But we can go check out, look at this one up here. Boy, oh boy. That is an ugly-looking storm south of Raleigh, Mississippi, Bay Springs, Mississippi. That's likely a tornado on the ground. That is a tornado-warned area. You can see the tornado warning right there. Highway 15, Bay Springs, Mississippi. So we've seen a number of these tonight where they've had really clear signatures. So far for damage, so far what I've seen is power outages and trees down. I haven't seen any major damages just yet, but once again, these are coming in the dark. So, you know, sometimes it gets a little delayed in us getting the information on what's been damaged, obviously, when you can't really see the damage. Let's see, so that one looks pretty significant. This one's pretty broad around Brookhaven. This one was ugly looking earlier. Now it's not looking nearly as ugly. Still a strong storm, but probably not putting a tornado on the ground at the moment. And then we got this other one kind of in this is out like in the bottom of the delta here in Mississippi. Possum Corner, Doloroso, Darrington. Very broad looking circulation there as well. So probably not seeing a tornado on the ground there. Once again, the one that looks by far the ugliest. Oh, and there's multiple areas in there that could be producing tornadoes. Because not only is there this one here, there's another one there near Raleigh. That is a nasty looking storm. So this one could be doing some damage for sure. And you can see the warning does stretch past Bay Springs. So the National Weather Service wants to get out ahead of that thing. And there's another little circulation area there too. So we might have, this warning might be up for that, but that looks pretty broad. This is the one to watch, and maybe even a little bit of that one as well. There might actually be two going on in there near Raleigh, Mississippi, Bay Springs, Mississippi. So this is why I was concerned tonight. There were going to be some areas. Now, let me point this out. We've expected all along that the areas in central Mississippi were going to be the areas most under the gun tonight. That was where the ingredients were coming together the best. See, when the Storm Prediction Center puts together these outlooks, this is the outlook with the tornado risk on it, what they're doing is they're looking at all the different severe weather parameters. You know, we have a bunch of severe weather parameters. Where are they coming together? And where most of the parameters come together, you start seeing what I like to tend to call bullseyes, right? most parameters have been coming together in central Mississippi. So that's why you see the highest risk of tornadoes right through there. And they also, it's kind of confusing. I don't know exactly why they do this. They put this cross hatching, and with the cross hatching they put on, like see those little dashes, that means significant. Okay, thank you. I mean, the point of the bullseye, we know it's significant. So it's always kind of confused me why they do it. One thing about trying to get things out to the public, we're always trying to figure out the best ways to get the information out in ways that people can understand it. Nice thing about being able to do sort of these longer bits here on our app, on Gulfstream here, is that I can really break this down. I don't have time, you know, when we're doing 3 minutes on the TV news to really break down what we're looking at here. And I know it can be confusing, but so what this map is saying is that the most ingredients for tornadoes was coming together right through here. So that's why they put the highest level of risk. They outlined it like that and called this significant. The amount of, so they have like a bunch of ingredients here all coming together. Down in our area, we've got a few ingredients coming together, but not all the ingredients. So that's why we are in a lower level of risk. But it's 5%. It's still something. It's not zero, so we still have to watch. But we know that this area is the most likely to have the tornadoes just because they have the most ingredients. They've got, you know, if you're baking a cake, you know, you need like 6 different ingredients, right? They got probably about 5 ingredients. They don't have, you know, they're not up there at 30 or 45%, but they've got most of the ingredients to make that cake. We've got about 2 or 3 ingredients. We don't have very many ingredients down here, maybe about 2 of the 5 or 6. So think of it that way. It's hard to make a cake if you're missing some of the ingredients. It's hard to have the tornadoes if you're missing some of the ingredients, but you can still make something out of it, I guess. Just won't be quite a cake. Maybe that was a bad analogy. Just trying to, like I said, I know it can be confusing sometimes. Let's see. We were looking at the rain, looking at what's happening up there. Oh, let's get you into the, let's look again at the modeling. This time I'm going to take you on a slightly wider model. I know it was kind of a narrower look I just showed you a minute ago. All right, so let's take you through, this is the same model, but I've just got it wider so you can catch a few more things and see a bit more of our area, especially if you're in the northern part of our viewing area. Here we are at 11, it shows scattered showers. Probably not seeing anything severe here at that point. I'm thinking when we start seeing the chance of severe, it's going to be after midnight. Here we are at midnight, it's still pretty quiet, but you have to have storms. You know, you could have all those ingredients there, but if you don't have these storms to take, storm is almost like the, so I've talked about a cake, you got to have all these ingredients. Well, the storms are like the oven. You could have all the ingredients sitting there on the table, but if you don't have the oven to cook them, they just sit there on the table, right? Same thing here. Got the ingredients there, but you got to have the storms. Okay, the storms won't come in, does it look like, till about 1 or 2 in the morning. But once they do, I mean, the modeling is showing still a pretty solid line of thunderstorms here rolling on through. Now, this is going to, like I said, this is wake up weather. Like boom, boom, boom. It's going to start rattling the windows 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and it's going to be pretty rough at times here for us. So this is going to be some rough stuff in the middle of the night. So, you know, and you know, the thing is too, it's going to probably look scary. I mean, the lightning's going to be flashing. Wind's going to be howling and rain's going to be coming in sideways. One of the things about these storms I've been noticing, I've been keeping an eye on some of the storm chasers over there in Mississippi, and what they've been saying is that some of the heaviest rain they've seen in a long time. Remember, we haven't had any good, you know, severe weather systems in a long time, and they said it's. I mean, the rain is. I mean, we do have some flash flood warnings in parts of Mississippi, and the storm trackers that are out there are like, wow, it is raining sideways in some of these storms. So, I mean, we need rain. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be pretty heavy, I think, in some of these bands tonight. So just be prepared for that, to wake up to that rain, you know, blowing in sideways on your windows at the house in the morning. 6 a.m. likely still pretty active here at that point. 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Now by about 8 a.m., things are moving off into the panhandle, and we're probably going to be losing the severe side of this by about 8 or 9 in the morning. Now, there'll still be, looks like, some scattered showers around all the way through at least lunchtime, probably a little bit thereafter, but those won't be severe. In fact, they might not even have much of thunder and they probably won't even have thunder and lightning in them anymore at that point. How much rainfall are we anticipating? Like I said, this system, these numbers might be undershooting, and they're pretty good, especially when you consider how long this is going to last. I mean, it's just going to last a few hours, basically overnight. But the modeling is suggesting at the low end just a little bit over an inch, but at the high end, 3.5 inches. So, I mean, those numbers are probably pretty close to what we could see here. But like I said, this rain is heavy in Mississippi, and these are, you know, once again, these are drawing in. Let me get back to that. These are drawing in a ton of moisture from the Gulf. It's in the 70s across the area, and it's going to stay very warm and mild over the next few hours because, I mean, it's just driving in all that moisture. And so these are rain producers. Like I said, these storms that are happening right now in Mississippi are just dumping rain. Heavy, heavy rain. So even though we're only looking at mainly a line of storms here, one line of storms with a few out ahead of it tonight, we could easily see 2, maybe even 3 inches of rain out of it just because of how heavy the rain is going to come down. So be prepared for that end of it too. It is likely to be pretty wet. Here's the wind gust modeling. Let's see what this has been. Most of the night it's been putting up upper 20s. Yeah, still what we got. So upper 20s is mid to upper 20s is what we're looking at with the wind gusts. Now, obviously, that doesn't include like this isn't going to pick up like the front end of a severe thunderstorm where you get 60, 70 mile per hour winds. These are more of just sort of the typical gusts that are going to be out there tonight with this system. So strong storms possible through the morning. Temperatures there will be in the upper 60s. I want to go ahead and give you this real quick while we're here and while if you stuck it out with me this long, hey, appreciate it. Once again, please download our app. I know we beg about that a lot, but, you know, we really, really would appreciate that. Helps keep us in business. We need our, it's free. Just download our app. Lots of good information on there. We put a lot of work into it, too, so I really want people to download it and see it. Our Thanksgiving forecast, here's what it looks like. Temperatures in the upper 50s, cool and cloudy. I did have a rain chance on there a couple days ago too. Thankfully, been able to kind of back off on the rain chances, and let me show you why. There's a Gulf low that's likely to develop out here, and there we go on Thursday. That's 6 o'clock. So it's 6 in the evening, Thursday. It's still well west of us. So I'm not too worried about some rain here. We could see a quick light shower, say 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening. It's possible, but it looks like better chance of rain is going to come in early in the day on Friday. And the good news is it looks like this low is going to stay pretty far south. The models before had it closer to us, so that was going to give us a lot more rain on Thursday night to Friday. But now the models have it kicked off pretty far to the south, which means whatever rain we get out of it will be pretty light. So it looks like on Black Friday it'll be cloudy, and there'll be some showers around, particularly in the morning, but shouldn't be a big deal. Shouldn't be that crazy, or just should be some light rain. So here it is. Once again, obviously the biggest thing that we're keeping an eye on is what's happening overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Then, of course, Thursday is Thanksgiving. 20% chance. Like I said, that's only for an isolated quick light shower in the evening. So most of the day will be fine. It'll be cool, and it starts out mid-40s, only gets in the upper 50s in the afternoon, and it should be fairly cloudy as well on Thanksgiving, and likely to be pretty cloudy through the day as well on Friday with some of those showers around in the morning. It looks like things clear out, though, pretty well for the weekend. We have 40s in the morning, 60s in the afternoon. Looks pretty good there. So just wanted to give you that quick update on the evening forecast. Once again, obviously, we are keeping an eye on what's happening west of us. This system in Mississippi right now, central Mississippi, has been producing tornadoes and some very heavy rain and tons of lightning. Here it is north of Hattiesburg, over here around Jackson, Mississippi, still producing. There's like 4 tornado boxes there. So that's what we're watching out for. We still have, like I said, quite a few hours to go before we get there. It's going to be late in the night, overnight hours. Have a way to get warnings, something that'll wake you up if you get severe weather. I know we had that alert, I don't know what you call it, the broadcasting alert on your phone. That's sort of the generic one. That's helpful. But also it'd be good to have our app. That way you could always just open that up and get the latest information. So once again, I'm meteorologist Matt Barrentine. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 10 Gulfstream. I've got to go and get ready for the show. Of course, we're going to be on at 9, and we'll stay on through 10:30. You know, we go to the 9 o'clock show, and the 10 o'clock show ends at 10:30. Obviously, I'll be here overnight tonight. Michael will be coming in as well. Severe weather happens. We start getting severe storms. We'll be on air. You can catch us live. If your power goes out, make sure you have the app, and then you could pop us up on the app. So that's like I said, I think that may be one of the best reasons to get it. So anyway, here's another look at the showers and the rain. We will be with you soon here on Fox 10 News at 9. Please join us.